of the U.S. dollar. I'll give you some statistics right now. It's hit an all-time low against the euro. It sank below 99 yen. That's the weakest since 1995. It's plunged below 1 Swiss franc for the first time ever. What, if anything, are you doing about the value of the U.S. dollar, which seems to be falling rather rapidly?
Wolf, you've heard me before. I believe very strongly that a strong dollar is in our nation's interest. We have a strong dollar policy. I make the points repeatedly that every economy goes through some ups and downs. We're going through a tough patch right now in our economy. Our long-term funds,
which are obviously a disaster.
Well, to step back, I have great confidence in our capital markets and in our financial institutions. Our financial institutions, banks and investment banks are strong. Our capital markets are resilient.
If you wouldn't have bailed out Bear Stearns, would there have been a problem with Goldman Sachs, your former company, or J.P. Morgan, or some of the other huge investment houses?
I will repeat what I've said. Our financial institutions are strong. Our investment banks are strong. Our banks are strong. They're going to be strong for many, many years.
And what they found could have startling consequences for the near future of our planet. Scientists have accepted for some time that climate change means polar ice is melting. It's the rate at which it's disappearing which has shocked Britain's foremost polar expert.
The summer ice will disappear within 20 to 30 years, and a lot of it will be gone within 10 years. It will retreat to a fairly small area north of Greenland within about a decade.
This graphic shows variations in the depth of the ice at the North Pole since the 1980s. The white ice is the thickest, the dark blue is open water. Over the last few years, the amount of thick ice has declined, and in just 10 years' time, space photographs could show the North Pole looking not white, but blue.
From my perspective is a housing downturn, the banks start doing all sorts of funky stuff, going belly up and that kind of thing. And then you've got the GSEs who are supposed to be a backstop to them, if I see the picture correctly, and they're in as bad a shape as, or worse, than some of the banks that they're supposed to be the backstop for. How did this happen?
And first of all, I do not buy into the proposition that these institutions aren't viable, that these institutions are playing a very major role right now in the economy.
Well, there are a lot of us who would like to believe what you're saying, but we're a little skeptical, because every time we propose and do something, it always gets used. And you want an unlimited amount used. And none of us at this table like that idea, or some of us at this table don't like that idea of an unlimited sum of federal dollars being backstopping two GSEs, which are already assumed to be backstopped by the federal government to start with. Their price stock and their equity. And do you think that we can believe exactly what you're saying, Secretary Paulson?